And we are officially live. Hello, everyone out there on the internet. And welcome to another episode of NXTilosos, the sexiest NXT review show out there on the internet right now. Of course, welcome to BC WrestlePod and enjoy the show. Of course, my name is Mikey. I am El Jefe of BC WrestlePod, who runs the ones and twos and herds this lovable group of cats together so we can get stuff done. That may or may not have been sure.
Oh wait, sorry, wrong animal sound.
Guys, this is what I've had to deal with all day, just text messages alone. So now that both of them are here live and in person, I would like to on air publicly apologize. Here's my ukulele. No, just kidding. I'm about to offer a whole YouTube apology, but no, in all seriousness, the amount of text messages that went across today, I feel bad for everyone involved. And I apologize, but things need to get done. But it is because of my hosts that without them, I would just be doing this by myself. And that's no fun. So, of course, I have the Pleat Father himself here this evening, who wish he was enjoying himself. But you know what? Times are tough right now. So I get it. I truly do. You could have been at the double dating, but whatever.
I just need to move on that side of town. That's really what it is.
For real.
Because if I move over there, I can just hit the house, shower, and then go straight to Full Sail.
Don't cough up the lung, please.
There it goes.
Ew, that was wet.
That's the driest one yet. Trust me, I've had wetter. Anywho, yeah, and then I can just go straight to Full Sail, and I can be there by be there at a reasonable time, and not be like, all right, I finally got home at 5 o'clock. Let me shower and get out of here by 5:30, and get over there by 6:30, and pray I can get on the bus.
That's true. Very, very true. Guys, our GoFundMe is now up to help. No,
Yes, honestly. Give me money. I need to buy a house.
It's great. And then, of course, rounding out our trio tonight is the lovable Papa also, who, is this. I'm going to miss these times because we are taking 2 weeks off, but that's okay. But then, of course, unofficially joining us this evening, and who knows for how long, is our lovable friendo, Nick. Who is calling us the 3 effing guys, his 3 effing guys, and with the Beard Brigade being here, and also Kilt died on air doesn't help ratings or anyone agree with your wacky opinions. LOL, JK.
Bullshit. I will go with bull and shit on that one, good sir.
100%. But before we get into NXT proper, we are going to go in order of the show, but we're going to save what opened up our first match towards the end because there's a lot of discussion around that. But before we get into all of that, really quickly with the announcements, if you are new to BC WrestlePod, then welcome. Hi, we're glad that you found us. And you can check out our YouTube, Twitch, or Kick to dig into the archives of all the stuff that we have got going on here. Or if you're looking for something a little, more self-contained, you can follow us on your favorite social media site of your choice at BC WrestlePod, where you can find our previews of the television shows, the report cards of said shows and pay-per-views, prediction stuff, and whatever else that we feel like posting on the internet, because it's really, really fun. Of course, we also have some merchandise available at our shop at BC WrestlePod, shop.fourthwall.com. Link in the description and chat in these videos below. And then, of course, if you feel free and inclined to help us donate to the cause, a little coffee bot will be jumping up in here ever so often throughout the review. And if you feel you want to throw $5 our way because you love what we do, then all means we humbly accept it. But no pressure because it is the holidays. And in general, economic times are tough for everyone. So we completely understand. Oh Lord, here we go. Nick has already started his shenanigans. I'm gonna go to the hail the show and sneak into backstage and then take over from Mikey. Honest mistake. You shut your mouth, Nick. I run this show, but not really, honestly. Alrighty, so let's get into it. So we are reviewing the December 16th edition of NXT. And before we even get to our first match, what kicked off the show is it's on site. Javon is on site with Ricky Saints. So she out here waiting in this parking lot for Ricky to show up. And Ava's like, Javon, please don't do this tonight. I was like, there's already a lot going on in this show. I need you to not do that. And Javon's like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to wait here. So Javon's going to be posted up in this parking lot for a good chunk of the episode. I was like, it is on site. Shut up.
I mean, anyway. I have to agree with Nick on this because you have two amazingly hot wrestling personalities, and then the rest of us, I mean, this was the one thing I'm going to enjoy about this segment that I did enjoy about this segment was when later on Leon Slater comes out and tries to get him to come in. And it's like, man, come on, it's cold out here. I'm like, you're in Florida. It is not cold.
I was like, Leon, I love you, but you are from the UK. You know your winters are colder than this.
Exactly. If at most it got down to probably close to the low 60s, maybe high to mid 50s, it is not that cold. Like it was 54 this morning when I went to work.
Nick, I'm done with you. You're banned. I'm just kidding. I was like, don't tell me Javon's push has been coming forever. This man just needs to get a championship in 2026. At this point, I will take NXT or North American. Like, we need to stop playing in Javon's face. We're going to talk more about Javon as the show goes on. But again, we are going to move on. So we're going to wait to talk about Thea Hale and Blake Monroe and all that situation at the end of the show. So we're just going to jump. We're going to put a pin in it and come back because, guys, Tatum is on the hunt. And even though it wasn't explicitly said, halfway through the show, she narrowed it down, and now we are down to 2. I was like, it wasn't explicitly said, but Tatum offed.
Oh, we lost El Jefe. Will, you're muted.
Yeah, we lost Mikey. Oh, there he's back.
There he is. You're back. Yay!
That was weird. Hang on, my camera is glitching, you guys. The calling is coming for me.
Why is
I don't know what's going on. I don't like it here. But yeah, Tatum Paxley's playing mind games, and even though it wasn't explicitly said, there is only now 2 members because Nico Vance was taken out, but not even on screen. He's just Izzy can't find him later in the show. I was just like, this is cool and everything, but like, why?
Who knows? Anytime that these people are on my I stop listening. Until this organization goes away, I don't care.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. So it might.
Though I am very excited for Tatum to take some people down.
100%. I am totally okay with that as well. So should be fun. Anyways, Nick, you're banned. I was like, I work with children all day. 6'7" is banned in my classroom. And they are absolutely not the perfect 10, even though I know what you're playing up to Ty Dillinger's thing. So, okay. Yeah, we can move on with our lives.
Yeah. What is going on with your camera?
I don't know. I think the choline is infiltrated my stuff, and so I'm I'm fixing it. So hang on. While I fix this, you're gonna get me in my true form, which is this janky laptop camera coming up here right now. Oh no, wait, there we go. All right, we're gonna keep it here, and if I have to fix it later, we will. But we're good. All right. Moving on from this hot mess, though.
Yep.
No, that is the last thing I'm doing, Nick. You don't need to be in the show unless you're planning to be here every Wednesday. Then, yes, I will allow you in, but you have to be on our NXT show. I'm just kidding. You do a lot already as it is, and I don't want to fight Nikki. She'd win. Anyways, moving on with this.
I want to watch that fight. That'd be fun.
No, I wouldn't, because I just lie there and I'm just like,
Bill and I can become like freaking. I'm trying to figure out which team would be the best for Will and I. I'm not gonna say. I don't want to say JR and and the King, but that's like one of the first Michael Cole and Will Barrett.
Wade Barrett.
I don't give a fuck.
Apparently, you don't.
I don't like Wade Barrett. I think he's too heavy into being opposite of Michael Cole.
That's fair. I guess that's fine. Anyways, so Moose is here from TNA for some odd reason. Okay, like Kiltz, I know you're part of the NXT crew, and I am going to allow you to talk about this in a little bit. But Will, I'm gonna give you the spotlight here because this is TNA business right now too. So I was just like, first of all, we had all ego Ethan Page. He's supposed to address Tony D attacking him. And I was just like, we don't really get too much into it because then Stax and Ariana Grace come out. Mind you, Stax is now currently the TNA International Champion. And I'm just like, ew, why? And so I was just like, I'm like, Channing Stax Lorenzo, I know good God well that you are not about to challenge Ethan Page for this North American Championship. I'm like, you have done nothing. And then Moose comes out and Moose's music hits, and I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, why? Why? Moose, I love you. I truly, truly do. I think you are amazing and you are fantastic. But like, why are we here?
I don't know. I don't. Can we not? I love Moose. I do. I love Moose as a performer. I think he's fantastic. And I just
say everybody, it with your full chest. Say it with your full chest, Will.
Let's just everybody stay in your lane. Please, for the love of God.
Please.
Stay in your lane. Can TNA, I love me some TNA and I love NXT, but they need to they need to have the we need to talk bit because they need to break up. I'm sick. I'm tired of it. It's like it's getting old. It feels like it's like either merge together or get the fuck away from each other. It's just that's the way it feels right now, and I'm just like. And to me right now, it feels like, oh, we got to bring these other people from this other company in to improve ratings or something. That's what it feels like. It feels like a ratings grab.
Right. So on the one hand, right, I get that TNA can, NXT can have some of the TNA folks over here because they're done with their tapings for the year because they taped everything on set. After Final Resolution on Friday, they double taped on Saturday and Sunday. So they have They have their episodes leading into the AMC live premiere in a couple of weeks, which is going to lead into Genesis that week too, in the middle of January. So it's like, okay, cool. But this whole TNA International Championship is already convoluted. Stax has it. Moose is like wanting to face Ethan Page instead of get the International Championship. So I'm just like, oh, okay.
This international title is just cheap. It's just cheap.
When they gave it back to Macklin only to hold it for like a month and then have him lose it again, I was just like, why?
To freaking Stax.
We talked about this during Final Resolution. I would have still been frustrated, but at least like Lexus King made sense to me with everything that we saw on TNA television. But Moose is going to be challenging Ethan Page in 2 weeks, which is currently being taped today because, everyone is going to go home for the holidays for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, Kilt, any additional thoughts about, this whole segment?
I mean, I don't disagree on, TNA and NXT should pause the partnership for a little bit. Man, I swear. It's getting heavy-handed. It's too convoluted. We have so much great potential in NXT, that we should just let NXT be NXT for a little while. Let that kind of fight out and have its own thing. Honestly, I'm so ready for Ethan Page to lose the belt, but I don't really care who, and I kind of want it to be an NXT person versus anyone from TNA, because we've seen how much of a pain in the ass it is to lose any of the belts. It's like, can we just move on, please? Although I do enjoy something that happens a little bit later.
I'm gonna. Does it happen to be? Does her name have to be Chelsea Green?
Oh yes, and her cream pie.
I was like, listen, Chelsea's a gay icon. We love her. We're gonna talk. I agree with you though. And when we get to Chelsea, I was like, Chelsea's the best thing that is going on right now. Like, and she's not even over here on NXT. She's on main roster, but we're gonna talk about her in a little bit. So, Moose and Ethan for the North American Championship is set for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, so leading into the final NXT of 2025, which is technically the go home before the following Tuesday, which is New Year's Evil. So that should be an interesting show. But keep it on moving with the gravy train. We cut back to the parking lot. And I was like, thank God Leon Slater had some sense to talk about Javon. It's like, dude, get your butt in here. I was just like, I need you in this match that I'm about to have. I'm main eventing the show in this Fatal 4-Way. I need my bro there. And Javon at first wasn't going to go, but Leon talked some sense into it. And I was like, Leon, I love your level-headedness. So Javon ends up going with Leon. I was just like, I love this pair. I truly do. I really, really do. I just need NXT to kind of pump the brakes a little bit and stop. I know they can go all out, but I want them to be used like sparingly. I love them, but don't oversaturate them, because then you're going to make me not want them to be together. So, because I love them, but use them sparingly. Moving on to the next thing, though, because that's all I had to really say about this, is Leon Slater got Javon to come from the parking lot. This picture of Tank Man is ridiculous, and I love it. I was just like, whoever. Tank is entering like what in AEW we have with the Mark Briscoe headshots. It's just weird pictures of them. So we kind of have to talk a little bit about the opening match, because of the way it ended. This match got like 20 minutes. I was just like, whoa, this is a long match. And I can't believe I'm saying this. This is actually a pretty good tag team match, y'all. This is pretty good. Of course, Hank and Tank are back from Japan. They were at Pro Wrestling Noah, which, of course, is where, our lovable, Yoshiki Inamura came from when he came over to NXT. And so the quote-unquote belly bandits were learning a thing or two about Japanese wrestling while they were there. They were also the Pro Wrestling Noah tag team champs, too, which was crazy. And that was awesome. And so Hank and Tank were taking on, OTM out the mud. Still hate the gimmick, but you know what? This is a pretty good tag team match. They all did great. And given the fact that they got like 20 plus minutes, which is like longer than what we normally get in any NXT television match, they did pretty good. And you know what? I was really happy to see the Belly Bandits get the win here. So Hank and Tank do beat OTM. I was just like, here it is. I was like, this is what I've been asking for. Now we actually can start building up the men's division again in tag teams, because we've been sorely missing it since Fraxium went over to main roster in April. So hopefully one of these two teams will reclaim their spot against Dark State. So we shall see what goes down with all of that. Kilt, I want to come to you first. What did you think of this tag team match between OTM and Hank and Tank?
I'm upset. I didn't realize that Hank and Tank were going to be there last night. And if I had, I would have gone, because I absolutely love Hank and Tank.
Oh, then you would have hated all the people that showed up tonight. But anyways.
It's okay. This was just last night, but
sure.
but it's I absolutely love these two. It's amazing to see them back, and that was, as you said, it was an amazing match. I don't like the gimmick of out the mud, but they did a really good job. It looked like they wanted to start fighting each other at one point because they wanted to beat the crap out of Hank. And I'm like, okay, guys, you're doing good. You don't have to fight amongst yourselves. You both can take him. He's a big guy. But no, I absolutely, this was so much fun to watch. And as you said, it went on for a long time. Like, I watched the whole thing. And then I got a phone call. So it's like, okay, I got pause. No, wait. Did I get a phone call at this point? I think so. I lose track. There's 2 more matches after this. So it was somewhere in either at the end of this match or in halfway through this next one. But this was so much fun. I enjoyed the crap out of this.
I had a good time with this one at 100%. So, Papa, same question to you. How did you feel about this tag team match?
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed OTM more than I have in the past. I still hate the gimmick, and I wish they would find something new. I just want to think you're better than this, guys. But anyway, I thought this was pretty darn good, actually, considering that they had to, cover from the first match. And at first I was like, oh Lord, this is going to be ugly because it's like last minute and they're trying to cover time and it's going to get sloppy and it didn't. I was very impressed with it. I was very, very impressed that these 4 guys stepped up and they made it work. And yay for them for getting 20 minutes, man.
For reals.
Talk about a blessing.
They did fantastic. I love them. They're great. Fantastic. Claps all around. So, again, Hank and Tank pick up the victory over OTM. So, Hank and Tank are officially back from Japan. Now they are back in the fold, which I appreciate, and they are fantastic. Moving on, though. Ricky is in the building, y'all. And this leads into his promo. So, I mean, we all knew this, but Ricky is now officially a heel. Don't know if y'all know this at the end of this promo. Ricky is mad that Javon didn't wait his turn. And I'm just like, interesting take of how to be a heel. Let's see what you have to say. And I'm going to be honest, right? So I love Ricky to death. Ricky Saints, Ricky Starks in AEW. I love me some Ricky Down. Did anyone else feel like we were on the cusp of getting, or actually we hit it a little bit. Did anyone else feel this felt like a tantrum from Ricky?
This was like boo boo baby crying in the middle of a ring. I was just like,
why are you mad at Javon? I was like, you have a contractual rematch that you can cash in anytime, and you got mad because Javon wasted his title? Wanted his title shot and not wait his turn at New Year's Evil? I was just like, just tell me you're jealous for the spotlight without telling me you're jealous with the spotlight, because that's what it feels like to me. And this has the potential to work, but Ricky, no more boo-boo crying promos like this, because I was just like, wah, I didn't get my championship shot. And I was just like, this character development is strange. I'm still invested, and I'm going to hold to the fact that it will get better, but no more boo-boo, I'm crying promos from Ricky. Also, Javon, again, it was on site, but Ricky put Javon through a table. I was like, Javon, I hope your insurance plan covers, going through tables, because it seems like every other week you're always going through a table, whether it's in a match or somebody throwing you through a table. I was just like, what is going on?
Also, whenever you turn heel, do you automatically get like an entourage? Is that what happens?
I was just like, why is it that the heels always get security to protect them?
I know. That's what I was like. Why do you need security there, buddy? I was just like, but literally I was like, oh, so you turn heel and then all of a sudden you get like an entourage? It's like, okay, what else do you get? I mean, that's kind of cool, but automatic, paid friends, but that's cool.
So, I mean, this establishes a feud between Ricky and Javon. It's very interesting because with Ricky has a rematch. I don't know when that he gonna cash that in, like after losing the title at Deadline. And so I was just like, we talked about it last week, but I was so annoyed. I was just like, why do they keep setting up Javon for him to lose? Like, I was so mad last week. I was like, Ricky, what are we doing? But more importantly, I was like, creative, why do you keep playing in Javon's face, man? I was just like, I know he's a hot commodity because he is blessed and booked, as they say. He is being here in NXT. He's over on the main roster having shows. He's going to Mexico to work AAA All-Stars. Let's get this man some titles in 2026. I'm just saying. But yeah, we have officially kicked off the Ricky Javon feud. And I was like, okay, can one of them get the championship first? And then, not to say that I'm not interested, but at least there would be stakes. Yeah. All right, moving on though. Chelsea Green, the goddess you are the best part of this whole entire partnership with Ethan Page. I was just like, she is. If y'all don't know Chelsea Green, like, let me tell you something. Her character is great. She is down for whatever. She is not afraid to make a fool of herself. Yes, she meant what she said when she got pied in the face by Joe Hendry and Thea Hale. It's like, she know what she meant. She is down for whatever. She is also a girl's girl because she stands up against the homophobes, the transphobes, the microaggressionisms. So I was just like, you are my goddess. You are my goddess. So, but what we got going on here is Ethan is not very happy with how things are going. Zaruka is in the office with Ava. Chelsea comes in, trying to stand up for Ethan. Ava's just like, Ava was also great too. She's like, Chelsea, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Not everything is about you. I was like,
not everything's my fault either.
Yeah, not everything is my fault. I was like, you go, Ava, you tell them. I was just laughing every time that Chelsea was talking. I'm like, Chelsea, you are my hero. You are amazing. But what this sets up is, of course, we know we're getting Moose and Ethan Page for the North American Championship in 2 weeks. Next week, because Soul got a big win over Bailey over at Saturday Night's Main Event this past weekend, Chelsea has to defend her Women's United States Championship against Sol Ruca next week. And I'm just like, oh, this match is going to be good. I'm kind of sad that Soul's not going to win, but this match is going to be good.
I want her to win. I really do.
I know. I want Soul. Soul's another one. I was just like, I'm ready for her to get a championship. But I'm still holding up to the fact that I think we're going to see her be the one to take the title from JC. I think Soul is the next one to be women's champion in this division.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I was just like, girl has held the North American and the women's speed. I was like, let's get her this main title now. Because she's ready to go out to main roster with a little bit of more polishing. But let's have her have an NXT championship, women's championship run first. But yeah, Chelsea, you are my hero. You are fantastic. I love you, girl. Another phenomenal match tonight. Like, outside of what opened the show and the criticisms that I have, but this is what I'm gonna bring up too. What I said about Javon and Leon being a tag team. I love Kendall. She is great. NXT, I need you to pump the brakes a little bit with her too and not oversaturate her. So I also trying to figure out, I was like, okay, Javon won the Iron Survivor, but you didn't wait for him to have his match at New Year's Evil. And I'm just like, why? And then Kendall is going to wait until New Year's Evil. I was just like, huh? I was like, okay, sure, fine, whatever. But we get the Ren QCC, which is Ren Sinclair, and our WWE Women's Evolved Champion, Kendall Gray, taking on Fatal Influence, which, of course, is the form of Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed in this match. This is another good match. Shout out to Ren because I was like, girl, I see the work you're putting in. I liked what you're doing. Like when she jumped off the top rope into JC and Laney to allow Kendall to do what she needed to win the match for the team. Ren, you're my hero. I love you. Kendall is also really great. I think Kendall has such a unique offense, but I also need NXT to pump the brakes a little bit. I need you to not oversaturate her too, because then people are like, have the attention span of a pinto bean. So they're going to be like, oh, she's on my screen too much. I don't like her no more. I was like, how dare you? And, not to get on my soapbox a little bit, but it always seems to happen to the women's wrestlers. I don't see these issues every time there's like men who are constantly on our screen. I don't understand. It was like, tell me you're sexist without telling me you're sexist. But primarily speaking about the match, I thought this was a solid bout from all four women. This was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Kendall and pick up the win here. So,
it was pretty good. Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it. It was, I don't necessarily think it was anything so like mind blowing, but it was really good. And I was glad that Kendall and Ren won.
Same
so
here.
I'm about done with Fatal Influence.
We're ready. I was like, y'all are ready to go. Like, let's wrap it up. Yeah, I was just like, all right, let's wrap it up. I love you girls, but like JC, I think you're ready. Fallon, I think you're ready. Laney, I feel like you are also ready because what I've seen from you, you're great. Anyways, Kilt, what did you think of, Ren and Kendall versus Fatal Influence?
First off, I love Ren. I really do. Her character's growing on me. This match was actually was a very entertaining. It was a very good match, and I did enjoy it. And I'm very looking forward to the downfall of Fatal Influence as well, because it's like, okay.
The amount of times I thought we were getting a breakup and then it didn't happen. What?
Exactly.
So I at least think we're holding on to Hadel. I think we're holding on to Fatal Influence until, I'm gonna be real, it's either Vengeance Day or Stand and Deliver, where we're finally going to start to see, these girls fall apart a little bit. So, because those are the next two actual big pay-per-views, because New Year's Evil is like a television special, but Vengeance Day and Stand and Deliver is coming through. So, here we're going. Also, Nick wants to know, Kilt, how you plot to take over the world in that chair, because it makes you look like a supervillain.
So the reason why I bought it, like, I don't know how many years ago.
Of course,
I love this. I love it. I need to get it reupholstered. It is literally my favorite. What's funny, Nick, is I've had this chair every single time I've been live. This is the first time you said anything. How dare? First off, secondly,
tell me you have ADHD without telling me you have ADHD.
Well, see, what's bad is I was kind of looking at chat and I saw that Nick said, when we were talking about like Will and I being commentary against you and Nikki, and he said Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura. I'm like, which one of us is Jesse Ventura? Why are you being an ass?
How dare you? Speaking of which, how dare you, Nick? Fetal Influence. How I describe some of Mikey's takes. Listen, right here, Nicholas. I'm gonna call you Nicholas the Prickleless, like Chelsea Green talks about now. Nick Aldis on SmackDown. I could have told you that a mile away, but hey, you know what? So MJF returning to AEW. I was like, that is like the most not spoiler, anyways. But again, Kendall makes Fallon tap out in a gnarly looking submission, which was really cool to see. And Ren QCC pick up the win here. So congratulations, girls. You were great. I love this picture. Lola's like, girl, don't get it twisted. I will kick your ass if I need to. And Kalani's like, bet. Let's do it. So I didn't get a picture of this, but prior to this, Izzy comes into the locker room, on the phone with Sean Spears because nobody can find Nico Vance. He just disappeared. So Tatum has got to him. I was like, if Tatum is out here like being the Red Hood, like being Craven the Hunter, she is the Punisher, just not as violent. Like, listen, I was just like, I'm here for it. As long as Tatum doesn't become Enchantress, because then we're all fucked. I was like, if Tatum becomes the Enchantress, we're all screwed. But after that whole segment, Kalani carries his box in and she starts putting stuff up. And Lola's like, girl, what are you doing? Kalani is just like, well, since I'm no longer a TNA champion, I'm back where I belong in the NXT locker room. And she's like, after, you spearheaded everyone into kicking me out because I was the TNA champion. And I love Lola. She was 10 toes down. She doubled down on this. She's like, yeah, I was. And she's like, duh. She's like, it was funny. I'm not going to lie. I was like, Lola, I kind of dig this vibe. She's like, I did it. And what you going to do about it? And so Kalani's like, don't get comfortable because now I'm back and I'm here to make statements. And Lola's like, don't get it twisted. I'll kick your butt. And Kalani's like, bet. So I'm like, yes, I'm here for this. Especially because if he gets Lola on my TV screen, I have missed her so dearly. More Lola, please. And also really happy to see Kalani get something too after losing the TNA Knockouts Championship. I was just like, we haven't really seen her much of her. I mean, these two were in Deadline, and so now that Deadline is over, I'm glad to see that these two are going to have some sort of story feud going into the 2026. So looking forward to it. I love you, Lola. You're great. And Kalani, you're fantastic too. It's a win-win for me. Alrighty. Can I show this picture? Yes. I just don't understand why. I was like, huh? Poor Quay.
Yeah, I saw this interaction start, and I'm like, all right, I'm skipping this because I really don't give a shit. It makes no sense. This interaction is kind of why. It's almost like Nick having a that the side shave when he's completely bald. It's like, why? Why'd you shave only one side of your head, Nick?
Damn, you're just coming for my friends now. Anyway,
giggity. Look here, Chelsea Green.
Anyways, so in this segment, we have our season 2 LFG winners, Shiloh Hill and Skylar Ray, talking about, Saturday night's main event and Shiloh's debut match last week. And then we get a couple in NXT, was choosing my words carefully, because they're like, we're the power couple. I'm like, no, ma'am, you are not. I love you all, but you are not. But what ends up happening here for this one is the fact that Stax is treating Shiloh is talking to Shiloh and Skylar rudely. Skylar is just like, oh, hell no. You can't talk to us like that. So we're getting a mixed tag team match between these four. And I'm just like, I just don't care. I was just like, I don't care. I really don't.
What's with the Obi-Wan wannabe wrap around top that Stax is wearing? That's pretty bad. What the fuck is that?
These fashion choices need to be reprimanded. I was also, like, where is the fashion police?
Seriously. Also, why is Ariana carrying his shit around for him?
Girl, I was just like, I don't like this look for Ariana. It's grossing me out.
It is creeping me out too. I'm just like, here, bitch, hold my stuff.
I was like, are we a trophy wife now, Ariana? Like, what's tea, sis? Like,
girl, you need to tell that man you who wears pants in the family.
I was like, your dad is Santino. In the words of Latrice Royale, good God, girl, get a grip.
Seriously, he probably borrowed that shirt from her.
That's actually kind of true. I would not like That's probably what happened too. Stacks got this. I was just like, listen, there are very few couples that I think would be hilarious and fun to wear each other's, clothing. Example A, watching Montez Ford wear Bianca Belair's wig and weave was hilarious to watch. This is not one of them, though. But we're getting a mixed tag team match in the next 2 weeks, and I was just like, I don't care, but we got to move on with our lives. So I was just like, it's the end of the year. Let's get through the winter season and get us into January, New Year's Evil, so we can set up Vengeance Day. Whatever, man. We're going to come back to you three in a little bit. We're going to come back to you three in a little bit because this was also a great segment. But let's preview what we got coming up next week on NXT for the holiday edition. So we get our Women's United States Championship next week. Chelsea Green defending the title against Solruka. We also are getting Lola Vice versus Izzy Dame. Notice that Nico Vance's picture is missing because he has been offed, so to speak. So Lola, I hope, beats Izzy's ass, which would be hilarious. So I think Sean goes bye-bye next week. I'm just saying Tatum's going to get him too. Then we're also going to figure out the tournament to see who's going to fight Jasper Troy for the men's WWE Speed Championship. I was like, I forgot you had that title, my friend. So we're going to get into that in a little bit.
I actually forgot he even existed.
Right? So that's winning the title. He's been off television. And I was just like, I forgot you were here, my dude. I'm not going to lie. But let's get into this main event. And all I have to say is, guys, this was the Javon Evans show. Not Javon. This was the Leon Slater show. Let's be 100%. I was like, damn, Leon Slater got so much offense and screen time in this match. I mean, as he should, because he's great. But I was just like, on the one hand, spoiler alert, Leon wins and is number one contender to Obafemi's title. Because on the one hand, I was like, minus Joe Hendry, Leon Slater probably is the most seasoned ring person in this match, right? Minus Joe. But I was very surprised to see how little offense Joe actually got, even towards the tail end of things. I was like, Leon was this was a 3-on-1 because Leon fought everybody. Now, when he jumped to the outside and like his knee buckled a little bit, I was like, oh God, no, Leon, we cannot have you injured. I was like, no. And he kept like limping around. I was like, I really hope he's just selling it, because I was like, I really hope you're not getting hurt, Leon, because we need you in one piece. For God's sakes, you're the X Division champion. We need you good. We need you healthy and ready to go, because I do not want to watch the AMC debut of TNA and then you have to come out and vacate this title. Like, absolutely not.
That would suck.
I was like, no. But yeah, I like this match because Leon was in it. But again, I was very surprised with how much offense Leon got in this match. And I was like, it was a little unbalanced. Like, Miles was here for a little bit. Joe was here. Dion Lennox was here. But Javon was everywhere in this match. And
I think that's the way it was set up.
Leon. Yeah, Leon was everywhere in this match.
Yeah, I really think that it was set up this way, because I was sitting going, wow, okay. And this match ended exactly as I thought it would, because I was like, they're going to send Leon to go against Obafemi, which is great, which will be a fantastic match as long as they play it right. Now, if they play it where it's like Obafemi basically just tosses him around and destroys him, then I'm going to be very upset about it. Because I think Leon I really believe that he could give Obafemi a run for his money.
Mm-hmm.
And do I think he's going to win? No. Of course, I could be wrong. And I would be fantastically happy to be wrong. But I was just like, because I was like, I know that, I don't know. As I was watching the match, I was like, okay, because I agree with you. The other three were kind of backgroundy they were more like tertiary characters than, main characters.
They weren't even secondary. So yeah, tertiary is a great way to describe it. And
I mean, because it was a Leon Slater show. I mean, it really was. It was like, I was like, wait, who else is in this match with him? I was like, oh, that's right. And I was like, I knew Joe wasn't going to win this because I think they're going to put him in the running later since he's newer to NXT. But I was very happy that Leon got this. I was extremely happy because, again, just like Javon, I just see great things from him. Now Leon's he's gotten a title on him, but I just was like, God, this is just watching him work just blows me away. And I was literally watching him the whole time. And I kid you not that I completely forgot the other three were even in the match. And that's saying a lot because Joe Hendry was in it and I love him.
100%. So, yeah, Leon is the number one contender. He will be facing Obafemi at New Year's Evil. Really quickly, what I would love to see come from this is I don't think Leon's going to win at New Year's Evil, but a wrestling content creator that I follow threw out a really fun idea because even though it hasn't been used in a long time since 2022, because Leon is X Division champion, and here's the thing, right? As much as I would love to see in a world where Mike Santana gets his championship back from Frankie Kazarian, once we get to the AMC premiere, in the event that world doesn't happen and Frankie ends up somehow beating Mike, whether through regular or cheating means at Genesis, to be completely honest, you don't want to send the crowd home angry, right? So what if Oba and Leon, in the match between Oba and Leon, what if Leon is just like, you know what? I couldn't get the job done, but I can hang and I can prove that I can be a world champion. What if this allows Leon? What if this leads to Leon Slater using option C for the X Division Championship to cash it in to have a championship match and win Frankie, kind of like a call your shot gauntlet? Because you got to remember the X Division Championship has option C where the X Division champ can cash it in. So that's just a fun idea. I don't know if it will happen, but it will be great. But Leon versus Oba in 3 weeks is going to be amazing, and it's going to slap. So technically, we're at the end of the show, but we saved this discussion for last. So, Kilt, I'm going to let you start us off.
This was actually a really good match, and I really, really enjoyed it. But you see, here's the problem that we are now having. This was botched really bad. Well, not really badly, but it was botched. This was a botched match that resulted in Thea Hale now becoming our women's North American champion. Now, the issue was Blake Monroe didn't get her shoulder up, and the ref did his job. If she missed her call, she got knocked out or not winded somehow from that. Because you can see when Thea landed on her from that moonsault, Thea had to get herself rolled back and then on top of her. Thea was having trouble rolling over on top of Blake. So that to me there was a reset that happened. It's like, okay, that was a little harder than I was expecting. No, I'm resetting, and then she hears the third slap, thinking it's a second one, and pops up, and it's too late. So it's like, okay, well, they played it well. They went into the back. They waited 30 minutes, so to speak. They cut the interview, and they actually did. I think they did really, really well. I think they played this. They played the botch off really well outside of the miscue and music, because Blake Monroe was supposed to win because they cued her music because it was set up. Because I don't think they don't set up their the music to you push a button and you got this person and then this person. Now they set it up as like radio hosts do it, where it's just a big list, and then when you press play or press next, it plays the next. And so they had to they went to go play next and started playing Blake Monroe, so they had to pause it and then go back and re-click into Thea's, and everyone is like, what's going on? This shouldn't have happened. You can see it in everyone's face. And it just, I think it's great because it pushes Thea forward. It gives Blake another opportunity for a rival, and it brings back the rivalry between the Meat Muffin and the Meat Muffin Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe. And I think we completely lost Mikey there, which is okay. I can yammer for a little bit longer. It was interesting to say the least. Like, okay, here's a botch, here's our recovery, and ta-da! It was great. It was a good recovery, is what I'm going to say. Papa, also, would you like to share your thoughts?
Well, okay, I agree with you. I actually enjoyed the match. I was really loving it. I noticed the guffaw, and then, of course, I was like, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. And I agree with you. I think they covered it the best they could. I think they, because what else can you do? I mean, other than, completely go, oh, that was totally our bad. Sorry, guys. I mean, what else can you do? You got to keep moving forward. So you've got to keep the story going. And I thought they did pretty well. I mean, it's probably just as much a surprise to poor Thea as it was to Blake. I mean, good heavens. I mean, I can't even imagine being in either of their positions. And then that happens and you're just like, wait, what's going on? And I thought they handled it well. Now how I will say this, how they handle it from now till whenever is going to say a lot. It's going to speak a lot about the people in charge, because it'll go one of two ways. Either it's just going to be like, you know what, that was a fuck up, so let's just erase that it happened and just quickly just recover as fast as we can, or turn it into a story point, which is where I would love to see it go. Let Thea hang on to this title and let it build to something bigger. So that way, when Blake and her come back together and have a rematch, it makes more sense than just, oh, we have to have a rematch real quick so that Blake can get the title back. Because I'm like, okay. Because I mean, outside of the performance, outside of the scripted parts of this entertainment industry, it was a 3 count. Thea is the new champion. So go with it. It was a mistake. It was an accident. Absolutely it was. But you know what? This is giving them a great opportunity to create an incredible storyline. I mean, sometimes fate just gives you everything you need to create something incredibly beautiful and wonderful. And I think that's what happened here. And they could totally, I mean, NXT could bank off of this if they do that, if they play their cards right. That's all I'm going to say.
Sweet. But yeah, so I agree with both of you. I really hope they let this run. I would prefer to see it run as a story where, Blake is like, you only won because I didn't get my shoulder up, blah, blah, blah. And then rematch, Thea can actually beat her cleanly, and then we can go from there. So I was just like, yeah, so very interesting stuff happened. So we shall see, because the double tapings are happening tonight. So we'll see how that all goes down. But that's going to be it for NXTilosos. not just for tonight, but to my friends, this is the final NXTilosos of 2025, because we will be taking the next 2 weeks off to reset, recuperate. My hosts earned their vacation, but let's be completely honest, it is so I can have 2 weeks to recover and to reset as I prepare us for 2026, which I'm super excited about. But we still have some fun stuff to kind of carry us over to the end, for the remainder of this week, leading into our 2-week vacation. Later on tonight, Papa also and I will be here to review CMLL, which, technically there were 5 matches on the card, right? But we got in the semi-main event, we had 8 miniature matches, and I was like, this is a lot to cover, but we're going to talk about it because it sets up what's happening this Friday. Then, speaking of Friday, this upcoming Friday, it's the final TNA show of 2025, where we will be reviewing, TNA, which includes a 20-man battle royale to see who's going to fight Franklin Kazarian for the TNA championship coming up here in a couple of weeks. Still looking forward to some stuff. Then on Sunday is when chaos hits the fan, because as I alluded to earlier when we started the show, I've been texting people nonstop to fill out the end of the year form and to let me know if their presents will be, if they will be able to grace me with their presents on Sunday for our BC WrestlePod End of 2025 podcast. We are going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of professional wrestling. And I'm excited because it's not just the BC WrestlePod family, but we are being joined by our 2 podcasting friends, hopefully, of, the Nick Happy Hour Wrestling Podcast with Nick and his lovely wife, Nikki, as well as our friends over at If We Had the Pencil Podcast, Sean and Matt. I'm super excited to get us there. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be chaotic. And it's one of the shows I look forward to the most. But that's going to be it for us here tonight at NXT. Me and Papa Oso and Kilt got to get up on out of here. But until next time, and until 2026, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. Take care of yourselves over the 2-week holiday season. We look forward to seeing you back here in 2026 for NXTilosos. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.